Hello, and welcome to From Ground to Great, a business, aviation, and personal growth podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Ruiz Jimenez, and today I have Jeremy Janousky. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Okay.
Okay. You got the little spiel. Yeah, good. Yeah. How was the drive over? Good?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a better part of I-4.
Yeah, not too much traffic or anything.
Sped on the way here.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I haven't been to Orlando only except for the airport. But you live like
Oh,
near.
what, like not at all?
Yeah, not really.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't gone out like there for fun or anything.
You going to the regional?
Next
No.
month? Huh?
Next month, NBA regional.
Oh, no, but
Yeah?
I'm gonna plan. I should look into it. I mean, yeah. Are you gonna be there?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, NBAA is it's now just more like a party.
Okay.
For me, there's no like client and user connections to be made there.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because it's like a lot of it is just brokers to brokers or people within network, and if you're in more of like brokering or stuff, sometimes your clients might be elsewhere, right? They might be doing other
not
things.
there.
Yeah, just not there. Yeah, not as much
there are
aviation
clients there. It's someone else's clients.
Yeah. Usually that's how it goes. Yeah.
I get more benefit out of it for travel radar media stuff than I do.
Yeah.
Brokering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been on the podcast before. I think you were the second guest ever.
Was I?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and we have 2 episodes because we had so much stuff, and then I think we had like technical issues, so we had to like. Oh no, it's because your homie pulled up. That's right. Yeah. Yep. You still hanging out with him?
Yep.
You wanna kind of give a brief about who he is and what you guys.
He's exactly who he was on the previous podcast.
That's true.
He's never changed.
Yeah.
He's gotten more mature. I think he's married now.
No. Oh, he was getting in the process of getting engaged, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, still.
Are you guys still You guys are partners together now, right?
No,
not anymore.
We left that company. He decided not to continue. I think he wanted to do something else in like automotive sales or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something else. Yeah. But yeah, he's so fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I love that guy so much.
That was a good podcast.
I'm trying to also think about the stuff that I said about him, or like we both, learned about him that enlightened you onto him. Yeah. I'm like thinking of anything. It's like, you should just go back and listen.
You should just go back. Okay, and we also have a crazy story on that podcast because I remember you guys were talking about some road or something, and you guys saw something. So
that wasn't me. That was him.
That was yeah.
He saw a UFO. Right?
Yeah, something like some paranormal shit.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to listen to that, you guys should go back and listen to that, and then come back to this.
Summarize it.
You can I want them to come back. Because I feel like we gave enough to be like but you want to give kind of a background if people haven't listened to the first podcast, kind of what you do right now, a little bit of a background history, or what you're up to nowadays.
Well, right now I own a few different companies. One of them is Mid-Air Jets aircraft sales. And then the other one is obviously Travel Radar. Started out at Airline Geeks. Worked for the University of Central Florida and University of Kansas for like an AI learning software.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's on an advisory board, so it's really mild, easy stuff, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It gets me knowledgeable about AI.
Yeah, well, it's like everything.
And faculty parking.
Where you can park.
I care more about faculty parking, to be honest.
It's hard when the universities are big.
Oh, yeah. But truth be told, I'll just park anywhere on campus. If I get a ticket, I get a ticket.
Yeah.
I'm not a good citizen.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, what are they going to do, too, if it's a university? Like, I don't think they report it to, like, the state or anything, ticket-wise, right? It's just that if they catch you there again, they might tow you the next time.
Well, they can't tow me because My car is too heavy and it's too tall.
Oh.
Yeah, I
life hack.
Yeah, I get an all-wheel drive, 6,500 pounds.
Okay. Did you write that off?
Feet. Write that off.
What do you mean? Isn't it within the range to write it off?
What am I going to do? Save $20 and spend a day and a half trying to get it written off? No. The fuck do I care?
Well, I didn't know it was only like $20. I thought it was a little bit more. I think, can't you write off like gas mileage and stuff throughout the year?
Yeah, what am I going to do? Take a picture of all my receipts?
Yeah, that is a lot of work. I think there's an app though. I think there's an app you can download, and people that DoorDash use it too. But it is extra work.
Dude, I pay taxes in 4 countries. I'm not spending any more time on tax than I have to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then now, over the past few months, developed a aerospace engineering company called Aerospace Industries.
Nice.
And we're working on aircraft teardowns, aircraft and engine leasing, other engineering solutions, and then maybe some more,
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
very much so.
But allegedly. Oh, that's funny.
Some people you don't know.
No,
For a lot of people. Should we?
We can beat that
part of that. Let's cut part of it out where I said like the numbers.
Yeah. I already have to do a lot of editing for this podcast. But how'd you get into that now? So how'd you start that where you want to kill a whole bunch of people?
So it was a German who approached, which is ironic.
So naturally, it's like perfect.
So I was like, hey, let me join up with the German company by choice and build things. Jesus Christ.
You're like, I'm gonna be on the right side of history.
Right side this time, yeah. I'm like, I'm getting paid too this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll cut this part out too.
We'll bleep it. Yeah.
I really can't say this part, like even with microphone.
Well, we can mute it.
No.
Well, this is you can.
You're
good. Tell me later.
Yeah, cut it out for a second.
Yeah, we can cut it out. Okay, so how do you find the people to even like get that idea to get it rolling?
So that is, is that an F-117 on your socks?
No, just Nike.
When it's scrunched up.
Yeah,
like
it is kind of. Yeah, it looks like that, right? Like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
cool.
Nighthawk.
Yeah. How did that? So that's the same German guy. I can't believe I'm saying this. My grandparents would be rolling over in their ashtray if they heard me say this.
The ashtray, bro. You can't say ashtray.
I'm not the one who did it. Anyways. Yeah. So the same guy. Okay, let's start up a company here because in the U.S. there's less regulations for aircraft teardown. They've
over there where you mentioned it.
Like over here, we're starting as an aircraft teardown, and then we have the other category. Yeah. The backroom stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was the one I was supposed to go to move to Shanghai.
Oh,
and then I was going to do acquisitions for that branch, and then he's like, "Well, it's just a lot easier to come here and do it." So we started.
Is it for resources wise? It's easier here.
Basically, yeah. Everywhere you have aviation, there needs to be support services, engineering solutions, right? So we're going to do that here. And there's some really good grants and loans at good rates and incentives to build in Florida, especially.
Oh, okay, for aviation.
Yeah. And there's less regulations here. It's easier to do tasks at an airport. For example, he's already doing stuff in Emirates and Dubai.
Okay.
And from what I understand, to move an aircraft, even if it's just being towed from one side of the airport to another, nonetheless a few hundred meters.
Yeah.
You need to have obviously the proper equipment, permit from the government, which can take however long, and then you need to hire, which is required by the government. You need to hire an environmental consulting, just in case there's like an oil spill, so like hydraulic fluid.
Oh, okay.
And then you need to hire like a aircraft towing consultancy company. So you have to hire all these things.
That used to be Biden.
And then if you're if you're gonna make, let's say, $100,000 profit of any task whatsoever, it's probably like 60,000, 70,000 goes to just these bullshit services that you can do here for basically yourself. You only have to worry about an oil leak, gas spill, or whatever if it happens, and then there's services that can take care of that.
But yeah. So what is it? Is it filed under an LLC then, or what is it filed under as?
Yeah, just an LLC.
Yeah.
So it's only about two of us now, and 10 chief operating officer, and then it's me, chief executive.
Okay.
And we're gonna do that. We're gonna grow it a little bit. My plan, as far as I can, say right now, is to stick there for a few years and kind of step away, but still own the company.
Yeah.
Because when it comes time to have my own airline too, I'll have this maintenance, logistics.
You've been wanting to have your own airlines for a while.
Yeah. Since I was really young. Yeah. So the brokerage, all the news companies, even the AI stuff, maintenance, these are all steps. These are all somewhat loosely planned along the way.
Yeah.
Because my goal is like a 30, maybe even like a 50-year goal. But there's a lot of people who started airlines and they had like enough resources, whatever. That's great. But I want to have all of the resources that I can have, and to be of my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, it definitely sounds like you're like the different paths that you're kind of going might seem like, if you don't know what your end goal is, kind of not all over the place, but a little scattered.
But
it seems definitely very aligned if you're looking at, well, what are the steps that you're taking and how can you use that to implement it for the end goal?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's all part of a big plan. Yeah. So, most of it, it's kind of like every step has 3 purposes, basically. In addition to like being a step closer. One of them is accessibility to information. The other one is experience. And then the other one is a useful application towards either the next step or overall.
Yeah. Well, you have the access to information to travel radar. You're gaining
extensive information, a lot of it. Yeah.
And then you're getting the experience right now as we speak. And with the business you're currently working on, you'll be able to expand to resources not in the US, but out globally as well eventually.
Yeah, I've always had access to global resources. But this is probably the first time where I'm going to be doing constant global business.
Yeah. How many hours would you say you put in a week?
If I'm not building a business, probably like 6 hours of work. No, that's actually per week across all my businesses altogether.
Yeah, altogether.
There's some weeks where I don't work more than 10 hours a week.
Okay.
I hire really well. I'm very meticulous, and a lot of my goals, like I said, are long term. So I build for the long term.
You need to outsource a lot too because you need to save your time.
Delegation.
For those.
Yeah.
So how do you find the people to be able to outsource these tasks that you have for your business? That
Yeah. So I used to use pretty bad measuring systems metrics.
Okay.
One was basically I was just like start a business. Whoever usually doesn't work that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're young, you make those mistakes. Second was empathetically or intuition, basically. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of ignored that because I was getting into a phase where like you needed numbers. You know what I'm saying? You need like a reason to hire somebody. And then I got into like, reviewing CVs, who is the most qualified, who has the most experience. But all throughout this time, even when I did kind of hire on instinct or choose, take actions on instinct, I wasn't really listening to my gut feeling. So if you eat healthy, you exercise, and then you have obviously a large goal, a very long-term goal. And then I think I guess I'm predisposed to like reading people pretty well. It makes hiring really good. I mean, really effective because I know my goals, right? I know how to apply each step towards my goals. So fitting people into that and then finding people who I can understand, but they also understand me. That saves a lot of time because then they can filter out information. Anything really that gets to me, I'd say like 98% of it is filtered out through the people who are around me, work for me.
Yeah.
It's really important. Definitely. That takes my time from like 100 hours a week to working to like 10.
Which is I feel like that's the goal, to really be able to tackle.
I could take on more tasks, and get to the goal sooner.
Yeah, or you can actually like take days where you can do whatever you want to do, as well.
Yeah.
It's like personal, like check-in time and.
Yeah, well, I mean, there'll be days where I'm like spending it with my family and doing some work throughout. There's no other occupation that I could do that with, and even if I didn't hire appropriately or delegate appropriately, I wouldn't be able to do that either.
Yeah, I'm reading this book right now. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek.
What is that? It was Carnegie, and then it was what was it? Somebody else?
I don't know if Carnegie was it. Maybe
Carnegie lost all of his hair. That was like the thing he lost his eye, like just over stress, and he was like the #1 richest man.
Yeah, I
read this in a meme or like a real one.
Yeah.
So it may not be true, but I'm pretty sure from what I understand about history. And then there was someone else. So either like Carnegie or Rockefeller, like like one of those guys who's the richest, and then the second richest guy, I came up with some sort of method or philosophy. I don't know if it was true because I wasn't there. But he never worked more than like 4 hours a week. Second richest.
Yeah.
And that was like his thing. His slang is that I kind of work more than 4 hours a week.
Yeah.
So he was healthier.
Yeah.
But yeah, check on that.
Yeah.
I know you won't, but
maybe not. Allegedly, I will. Yeah. But yeah, the book's all about just finding time throughout your day where you're doing unnecessary things you don't have to, or there's things where your time may be more valuable elsewhere. And it's really just going out and finding these certain ways. Like it talks a lot about the corporate world where, especially if you're like sales and stuff, they might leave you in the office longer than you really need to be because there's only certain hours throughout the day that are the most valuable to actually like even talk to people. They have the 80-20 principle, which is pretty cool. It's like 80%, there's like 20% fruition of your success, but there's 80% of trial and error. And sometimes there is a lot of bullshit that can be cut out and you'll be happier. So if you focus on, okay, well, these clients make me 20% of everything I make and they're consistent and they're really good. But these guys, they're kind of a pain in the ass. They're inconsistent. They're really hard to work with. If I cut them out, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. So a lot of people like reading these books, and I think they're very good books. But from my perspective, even reading these books, for me, is a waste of time because these are all things that I can know about myself already. Maybe
through
not
experience.
80-20, but I know where my time is best spent, and I'll focus on it, enhancing that. So these are all things that like you could learn in self-reflection. But if you have a goal, a really big goal or even medium-term goal, all of these things kind of become like incidentally obvious.
And that is true, I think.
But if you have to like listen to yourself, you know what I'm saying? You have to put yourself in an environment where you listen to it. You're allowed to take these processes. If I worked in a corporate sales, my 80-20 pursuit of that is pretty limited because I'm limited within that job place.
Yeah, exactly.
More so about time, and then freedom too. Yeah. So that's like a goal I would have to hit is like, okay, how could I put myself in a position or take enough risks to where I can make a 80-20 decision.
Yeah.
Here, I don't have to. I just understand what is most effective and how to do it. And like I said, all these things tend to fall into place.
Yeah. Well, I tend to notice like for a lot of those kinds of books too as well, it's a lot of people that maybe not have the experience or afraid to actually go out and be able to try things where they have to be put in positions where they do have to listen to their gut and intuition. And I've noticed that a lot with you. I know you don't really like read that many kinds of like personal help book or stuff like that, but it's because
I really hate it.
But I think it's because you do actually go out and put yourself in a lot of risks, and they're good risks, right? But there are the places where you actually are learning and being like, wow, I'm starting to see a certain pattern with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that would be maybe your, equivalent of what something would be like the 80-20 principle.
Because I don't have any sort of fear of taking risks. The consequences of that never really bothered me. At all. Never growing up or anything like that. Obviously I have, like a fear of, like just, like all natural, like fear of rejection, or, like this sort of stuff, fear of failure. But I think for me, it's just happened so often that I've conditioned myself to it.
And that you're okay at the end of the day.
I really don't care.
Yeah. Do you think you have a safety net in place? Or do you feel like if yes, then what is it? If no, like why is it? Do you feel like you're okay? I guess we kind of talked about it a little bit. Like, are you okay at the end of the day? Or it's like I would have rather known that I put everything on the line and it didn't work out.
None of that really matters to me. For me, I've had obviously this goal that's always been so obvious to me. So taking risks or not taking risks, as long as I'm in that sort of momentum, and if I'm not, if I fail in everything, obviously I still have that goal, still have that connection.
But is there a safety? Is there like a safety
the safety net? Is knowing knowing exactly what I need to do.
Okay.
So I'm never lost.
Yeah.
So it's not like like materialistic or like reality. It's very spiritual, I guess.
So if anything you encounter would be more of a setback really than just like all is lost kind of thing. It's just like, all right, well, I'm back, but now I've gained way more information and experience that I could try somewhere else.
Probably not. I never really believe that, like all failure is for a greater cause or like there's a lesson to be found in everything. I think just, sometimes you fuck up. So having to find, meaning in it, and whatever. Yeah, basically, I always know what I have to do. But yeah, failure is just kind of happens.
Yeah.
I think people become more, put more meaning into failure because they have more time within it and more need to find a lesson within it. That's why, failure is like so important to a lot of people and, even to myself, but it's, I don't know. I don't think there's always a lesson to be had in it or any sort of special meaning.
Yeah. I tend to like to see if there's something that I fail at. I guess I never really consider it failing to begin with. Just maybe in the current moment, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do, but that doesn't stop me from continuing, right? Like I would consider like even in jujitsu, right? Just being able to not get something where I thought I practiced a lot of times and I wasn't able to get maybe a submission that I wanted, or things didn't turn out and I wasn't able to think one step ahead whenever I was rolling. I mean, maybe you can consider it a failure, maybe if you're like at a competition level, but it's still like just part of like just learning and just continuing to do stuff. There's not really much you can do. So there's an aspect that makes sense. It's like, well, you can assign meaning or not to it. Like, it happens, but sometimes you just got to continue on either way, regardless, and keep learning, what you're doing. And maybe next time you will get that submission or something. But again, that jiu-jitsu is such a unique thing where those situations change all the time. It's only a split frame or second that you actually can reap the opportunity, what you want to do.
Yeah. But for me, I'm just trying not to fart in somebody in jiu-jitsu. That's
bro, I've been farting so many times. Well, I do it less, but like, God, it's so embarrassing, bro. But everyone just like laughs it off, and I'm like, God damn it, like right in the face, too. And I'm like the newbie, right? And so they're trying to help me out, and I'm like, oh my God, bro, he's not gonna want to help me out anymore.
That's all I can do.
Well, sometimes I don't think about it, but like, I'll go in, or maybe I'll try to like do a takedown or something. I'll hit someone in the balls, and I'm like, oh, it's embarrassing. Well, are you okay, man?
Is that trying not to get a boner?
Yeah. Well, the more that I think about not doing it, it just happens, So that it's just like it's like a never-ending cycle. I'm just bricked.
Yeah, some people look for meaning in jiu-jitsu. You just try to hold out.
You try to find me, I just try to knock it hard, bro. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Anyways.
How many years have you done jiu-jitsu?
It's been on and off for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started out with Krav Maga. I was like, this is like a women's self-defense.
Is it really? Did you learn a lot? Was it good?
Oh, I learned a lot. Yeah. And then jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I've been doing on and off since like 2019 or something. That's almost. It's 2025 now.
Yeah. Like 6 years.
5 years for me. I mean, like jiu-jitsu, like on and off. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it for like 4 months and take 8 months off.
It's like collectively around 5. So you're a blue belt now, right?
White belt.
White belt?
Yeah, and I also go to a gym where there are no belts. It's a bunch of black belts who have like, it's kind of like an underground gym.
Well, that's originally how it was supposed to be, because I think Carlson Gracie, like if you go to like their official thing, everyone just gets like a black belt. That's what I've heard. And
but the guys that I with, they're fucking killers. Yeah. One of them's a Green Beret active duty.
Oh no shit! So he probably pulls out shit.
One CIA ground branch. Yeah. And we meet up in this, like, you know how like banks have like 3-story buildings and they rent out offices. And it's pretty nice in there.
Yeah. Oh no shit!
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we go in.
Suddenly, it's pretty underground.
It's fucking underground. It's in a bank building on a Sunday, bro.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like drinking from like a running faucet though, because you're like having to catch up with a lot of guys that are like. No,
it's very relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Once you get to that level of high performers, I'm not in the military, or anything like that. There's just some sort of like once you're a native or fluent in something in like a native way, it's almost like there's like pressure is not involved. You understand people, you read people really well, and apply that lesson. So it's actually really easy to learn this way. Yeah.
I know. For me, there was definitely a long like learning curve.
Yeah. I mean, physically it's hard, and mentally like learn everything.
Yeah.
But it's not like I feel like anything is impossible, or they're not teaching me well.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say there is kind of like a learning curve to kind of that native language of what you were saying. And it's kind of just like a feel for like different positions or just a breakdown of what everything is. It's this consists of these very basic moves, and then you kind of add more stuff to it. So once you start seeing that, that pattern, then you can kind of grow upon it. And it's not that difficult anymore to kind of learn or kind of hang, right? Because you understand kind of that sense.
Right. There's no disconnection between you and your teacher.
Right? Yeah. It doesn't feel like magic. Yeah. Or like unknown completely. To understand how that could have happened. Yeah. I've been liking it. My gym though is I like the gym I'm here now, but I feel like feels like it's like a little slower paced. I kind of want like a quicker pace. Like I want the whole bowl of spaghetti being thrown at the wall and just finding the one thing that'll stick for me.
Yeah. That's why I like underground.
Yeah, and I think is that kind of what it is?
I'm with the guys and we're learning at the it's kind of like the shared pace of the group. Mm-hmm. And we're all, I'm sure we're black belts anyways. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one there who's like not a black belt. Mm-hmm. So I'm going at their pace. The pace is good, so it's not like a gym where you separate into group like this group might be a little bit more advanced than this one. It's just none of that. Going the same direction basically at the same pace.
Well, basically what you're doing too, like the color system doesn't really apply to you because you probably are for 5 years. You're probably blue belt. It's just probably because you've just been off and on. And then some. But
the last gym I went to that actually had belts was in 2022.
Yeah.
So I still have obviously my white belt. I have my gi. I don't like to wear gi.
Do you guys just do no gi?
Yeah, pretty much. I usually just like wear shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I just sometimes I wear like a gi bottom.
Oh, like the long like spandex kind of thing, or what?
No, just the pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just
I see what you mean.
And then, a shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the gi. It's like I've never worn one where it's not been so rough on my skin.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Because I use fabric softener. I've basically worn the thing down to make it as comfortable as possible. But it still gives me gi rash. And I know they say like don't use like t-shirts because it'll like cut you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those t-shirt will rip, which I'm fine with. Or will cause irritation, but it's like no, the gi causes irritation.
Yeah.
I could take a cheap shirt and it's fine.
Well, I like the gi, and I've just started doing no gi, and it's like different. It's a little different. I'm having to translate a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, no gi, I get to use actual contact, like my hand on actual skin and body parts contact instead of grabbing. Yeah.
And I got comfortable grabbing the gi for me.
Yeah. And the guys I train with, a lot of them actually killed people, probably a lot of people. Yeah. So they don't like the disconnection of like having a gi in place. We want it as real as possible to train.
Yeah. Daytona's pretty wacky. Oakland's wacky. Oh my god! So I went to a rave with my girlfriend, and
EDC.
Not EDC. It was, but I have gone to that.
Like West Coast EDC.
No, I want to go to the Las Vegas one. I haven't gone. This was on a battleship, so it's like a museum during the day, and then one side of the year you still have all the airships and stuff.
Battleship.
Yeah, a decommissioned battleship.
Which one?
Oh, I don't remember what it's called, but I'll look it up, and it's really sick. And
the USS Fun Time.
It is. Yeah, it is USS something. And it's out there in Oakland, and
probably everything's been stolen.
Surprisingly,
they stole the nukes.
There weren't any nukes when I was there.
In Oakland.
You go on Facebook Marketplace, you're like, oh, why is it so cheap?
They stole the fucking rotary.
You see like an F-16 for sale. It's like, how the fuck did you even get that out?
Oh, a battleship or an aircraft carrier?
Yeah, no, it was a battleship and they had aircraft carriers.
Yeah.
So I guess more of an aircraft carrier. Because it still had like the guns to shoot from the ship.
Well, I mean, it had a flight deck, right?
It did have a flight deck.
It's an aircraft carrier.
Yeah. And on the way,
probably stole so much it looks like
just like a battleship
now. Like a ship's cargo. container ship.
Everything's gone. What's up? It was just metal. But we were driving through there, and this guy, we're driving through this tunnel. We're trying to get there. This guy on the left-hand side, luckily I was on the right. He was going at least 100 miles per hour, and it's everyone's going 60, and it's only 2 lanes. And this guy goes, there's a car in front of him, so he swerves to the right. Then he swerves back in, and there was a curve. And all you just see is smoke afterwards. And because we're still in the tunnel.
What type of car was it?
It was
Was it a?
I don't know, but it was a low wheeler. It was not. It was not.
Really?
But it was really nice rims. Low.
Let me ask.
Low.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't remember what. I think it's a. I think it was a Hyundai, it was a Hyundai or something. but and
was it a?
No, it wasn't.
Really?
No.
What the hell?
Okay. So then we pulled to that to the curve of the tunnel, and we see the whole right hand wheel is completely off, and we see a guy, and his pants are all sagging and everything. He's got he's got a big old cigar and he's just smoking it while his car is up in flames. And I'm like, how are you so calm, bro? But yeah, that was a sight to see. And then we went to the ship, and it was a great time. I was lucky that no one else got on the car crash, just him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he went around you, right? 100?
Yeah. Well, he went, because he was on the left-hand lane. He braked and swerved because there was a car in front of him, swerved back in.
It kind of reminds you of I-95. You've been to South Florida, right? Driven?
No, I've never driven to South Florida.
There's a portion of I-95. It's a lot like what you're describing. So you go on I-95 here at Daytona. You start going south. Yeah. And then you reach Port St. Lucie. Okay. That area. And then I-95 goes from 2 or 3 lanes to 5 and 6 lanes. And it almost gets crazy immediately. Wow. Yeah. I've been cut off by minivans going 120.
Well, they're not going to last long.
Not even exaggerating. Yeah. It's that place. Chargers, Challengers going racing that minivan. It's just the type of place. Yeah.
So in Sacramento, next to the community college I went to, we have this one friend that is a. But anyways, there's this one street, and my friend was driving him because he doesn't have a car. Cool. So they're driving near my community college, and it's one of the sketchiest places to drive in California, because in that part of Sacramento, a lot of gangs are there. So they were going there to help this guy out, and my friend didn't know at the time what they were going to do, and I won't talk about what they were going to do. But they saw 2 cars pull up. This guy almost hits his car, swerves back. You see the car windows roll down. Guns. Pull out. Yeah.
Oh, that's my type of place. I like that.
Pull up to Sacramento, dude. I forgot the name of the road, but my friend would know it. But oh my gosh, man! And then after that, he's like, "Yeah, I gotta stop hanging out with you, man," because he keeps putting him in situations where it's he doesn't know. They just think they're hanging out.
Friends who like that. You think no matter where we go, they'll invite a friend, and that's not a good friend to have around. It's a different friend each time.
Yeah. And he wanted to have another friend and go hop in his car, and he was like, "No, dude, not at all."
Nah.
Yeah. And they were doing some sketchy shit, and he was like, "I didn't even know that was gonna happen, dude." He just kind of got caught up. Well, he believes in him, Yeah. I mean, right now he's gonna face jail time again, unless he goes to, which is north of us, and he does volunteering, so he's getting off really good. But if he gets caught again, he's going to San Quentin. Yeah, he's going to Quentin.
Sounds like a high school in a bad part of town.
Well, he was. He grew up with us. I have a music, not a music video, but we have we used to rap together. So I have a song with him on it. Yeah. And I did invite him to my home.
I used to, my best friend Onion, right?
Yeah.
So we had a little rap thing going on too. I had a rap name. I had like some SoundClouds.
What was your rap name? Oh, come on. Come on.
All right, a little.
Okay, now I know why.
I mean, you could do it, but it's not very good.
Of course, it's little too.
LIL, not.
Yeah. Well, mine was not that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I was Kitty J.
Kitty J.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. It was
That's
a good name. Yeah. But I just don't want like people like, oh, let me look up on SoundCloud. Who's this guy? Oh, he's going to San Quentin. Hopefully not. Hopefully, he stays sharp and he does his community service. Bro, he's gonna get free housing and everything, free food. All he's got to do community service. I think it's for like a year.
Is that like a California thing?
I guess so, because I've never heard of any other state doing that. Yeah. Maybe he goes back to music. Yeah. So, did you have a crazy story about Onion or what?
It's always crazy story. So, for the past, how long ago was February 2017? It's like 7 years ago, right? No, that's almost 8 years ago.
2017?
Yeah, holy shit. I've known it.
Oh my god,
8
7 years. Yeah,
no,
2017.
Yeah. 8 years. It's February now. I met him in February 2017.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
Yeah.
Today's February
so
21st. 3 plus 5.
Yeah. Yeah, 8 years.
We should. We're in the math and sciences. We should. It's almost 8 years. Yeah. So we've had this game of tag that's been going on since.
That's literally a movie.
Yeah, I know. But like the rules are just extravagant, and we have a 50-hour rule. So you tag someone. You have to say that it's a tag because there'll be times where we hang out where it's like we make contact or whatever, and it's not like tag.
Okay.
But when you tag, someone, you have to
intentionally
declare it.
Yeah.
But we like to do more like extravagant stuff. So Onion lives in a 3-story like apartment building, like kind of like this.
Okay.
Second floor. Has a neighbor to the top. He has a balcony. I've bought and have been practicing with rappelling equipment.
Oh, okay.
And you may want to like cut this part out or whatever, but
sure. It's just for the one time.
Yeah. I've been learning how to rappel for like, and it's been about like 4 months in the making, probably like another few months.
And then you'll get it. Well, because you probably have the rappelling.
No, I got it because I told him what I'm going to do, or like vaguely how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I want to make him fucked up. I want to make him nervous. You know what I'm saying?
So he's
like when he goes down to like rest at night.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been aware of this for at least 100 nights, and it's probably going to be like 100 more. Nights of him being just like feeling safe, but he's a little bit unsure of what could come from his balcony at night. There's been other times too where I've like gone into his house, tagged him, and then jumped off the balcony because he lives like that high up. And I'm like,
the second one? Or
the second one. Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
So I jumped from the second story onto the ground. And he's had complaints from his neighbors like downstairs who like can't come up like the next day. They're like
what the fuck's going on?
There's been a guy jumping. Because, we hang at like 2 a.m. anyways. It's not like we're in like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
We're fucking degenerates.
You're like some sus guy.
So like they'll hear it's like someone just like jump and land next to the bushes. And they'll like I'll see him like there's like watching TV through the blinds or whatever downstairs.
And then you're like, what?
And run away. But his bedroom has the the sliding door and its own thing. So I'll lock the door to his bedroom while he's out in his living room, and then jump off.
Hopefully the keys aren't in the bedroom.
He figures it out. I don't know.
He sure should have to.
Yeah. There's been other stuff too where I'll like lock the door, go into his bathroom, piss in the shower, and leave it there until he gets home.
So gross.
Yeah, I know, but I did it.
Oh man.
I did it. I'll do it again.
And I do it again.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh fuck, that's funny. No, can't say I've ever pissed in someone else. No, well, I haven't like pissed in another person's shower, but like not shower too. You know what I
mean? No, like I'll put the drain in.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah. And I'll leave, and he'll come back like 10 hours later and do it.
He's like, what the fuck? He doesn't
gotten to the point now where like if I'll be like, dude, can I use the bathroom? He's like, let me go with you.
He's like, wait a minute. You should just do that. You should just sneak in one night into his room.
I do it all the time.
Oh shit, that's funny.
Kind of does the same thing to my house, but
yeah.
My place is pretty big, so
do you have other roommates, or is it just you?
No, it's just me. I have obviously the master bedroom,
and
then
you have two more, right?
What?
You
two more bedrooms?
Yeah.
No, I have my room, and then I have another one, which I keep as like a guest bedroom, but it's not my office. I've been collecting all of these like cool things. I have a collection now of like items that like you're not supposed to have.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Items that like you have to like be gifted it. Like you can't get it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's this restaurant in Orlando. It's called Cafe 34 Istanbul. It's a Turkish restaurant. It's open like 24 hours. It's also like a hookah lounge. Yeah. It's a delicious place.
Nice. Okay.
So I go there like a month ago or 2 months ago. And it's like 2 a.m. It's really the best time to, go to a place like that. The weather's nice. It's like this. I'm sitting outside alone because I like to go to restaurants and eat alone. Mm. And the waiter, I'm like, he's not Turkish. So I'm like, where are you from? And he's like, Nepal. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So we're talking about Nepal. And I'm like, and he was also like, I'm a veteran. I was like, well, were you a Gurkha? Because I don't know if you're familiar. Mm. So in the 1800s, obviously the Imperial British Army, which like Nepal, like 1830 something, right?
Okay.
Height of imperialism. Mm-hmm. Fought in Nepal, the local, like military, the Gurkha. The Gurkha is an ethnicity there. Mm. And it's like how Kurds are in Iraq technically, but it's really supposed to be like Kurdistan. It's an ethnic group, not necessarily like religious, but it's just like a culture.
Yeah.
Gurkhas make up a vast majority of Nepal, right?
Okay. And there's like they specifically were like serving for.
Well, they were in a Gurkha military, so they were defending themselves against the British. Mm. But we lost that war. But what's interesting is somehow we managed to convince the Gurkhas to join the British Army after they beat us. Oh. Yeah. So there's a few royal regiments, if not one, where it's just Gurkhas, and they're really, really good warriors. They have a whole history, and they have this knife. It's called the kukri.
Okay.
And it's like a curved knife. It's basically like their knife, their emblem. Every Gurkha has one. They're granted one when they graduate. It's a very tough military academy to go into because number one, it's a British overseas territory. So you have like the standards of the British. You have to speak English. They have to be fluent. They even go to England for some military training, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're considered part of the Royal Military. Mm-hmm. But it's I don't know about the stats, but I've been told it's about like 1 in 10,000 Gurkhas who try out actually get in. So it's a very noble force. But this guy, it's like, were you a Gurkha? And he's like, yeah, I was. Yeah. And I was like, do you have the knife? And he was like, I still do. I was like, any chance you can get me a knife? And he says, I have an uncle who's, retired. He has a few buddies. Uh-huh. Maybe he, it's like, I'll see if when my mom comes over next, if she can bring that.
Yeah.
And I'll sell it to you.
No shit.
Yeah, so I bought one of his uncle's cousins' knives, and you only get one.
Wow.
When you graduate. Yeah. So these are the types of things that I like to have in my collection. It's like this one guy, like really difficult knife to get, and it's the one that you get.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Then I have like my grandfather's personal photo album from World War II, which is not really like a thing like I gained and I want to like collect or whatever, like like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like the hard to get sort of stuff. I have a 48 star American flag. I think you've seen it before. It's in my office.
Okay.
That's from World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. And then one of my friends has a line of clothing. He does aircraft teardowns. He's the one who I'm starting business with here. And he gets these really cool things that are licensed by like clothing company. So like one of them was Nike. He was licensed to fabricate like 10, it was very limited, 10 pairs of Jordans.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And it's made out of old Emirates or Etihad seats, interiors. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so you got, Etihad or Emirates, don't quote me on the name. And then Nike, and then these shoes, right? So he put one pair up for like charity auction. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. One belongs to like a sheikh, like in the Emirates, right? And one of them belongs to like the president of Kuwait or something, prime minister. He has a pair, and then they have like a couple of other pairs. It's that I'm trying to convince him to sell me one of those. But you know what I'm saying? Because I want a pair of sneakers that the president of Kuwait has.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So I like things like that.
Yeah.
A samurai sword from World War II that my grandfather brought back here.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Bunch of things.
Yeah. I've only really collected. I started stamps when I was really young.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those. I don't have anything like crazy. The craziest thing I have is just like Civil War stamps, but they're not worth that much. But they're still really cool.
But it's really cool when you take the time to look at them. I have stamps.
They look awesome. Yeah, they look
my great-grandfather collected stamps, so I inherited his stamp collection.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I have like this black box in my house. I'll show you next time. But it's like he has a little envelope listed by country. And there's countries in there like Northern Rhodesia, like just countries that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
Russia.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, so I take a look. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. And the fact that you can't get it again, right, from those places. Did I tell you I started a vending machine business?
A vending machine?
Yeah. I started it last year. I was just in school, so I wasn't working. So I was like, I kind of want to do something.
Okay.
I started that out. Pretty good. I mean, I just kind of learned like the basic process of like building a company and stuff.
Yeah. Do you have any vending machines?
Yeah, we have 2 right now. I wanted to put more in, but
Where at?
Here in California.
Give the location. You can plug it. So people can go out of their way to purchase.
Yeah. So if you're in California, Speedy Midas, Davis, California, and then I'm totally blanking out on the other apartment, but we have an apartment, and which is our first location. And I can't remember it. But anyways, we have 2 locations.
Next time I go to California, I'm putting fake coins in there.
Oh, actually, we removed that. We only take card now.
Oh, card?
Yeah. Yeah. It's because we weren't really worried about like not reporting it to taxes, but it was just kind of a pain because we didn't want to like restock bills and stuff like that. We just kind of wanted to focus on the food.
Yeah.
I don't think my business partner is wanting to add more machines and location stuff, or at least he doesn't seem as driven to. So I think
does it make a lot of money? Is it?
No, it just makes enough right now. Well, with only 2, it makes enough to keep the business running.
Yeah.
Without like really any input, like money wise from us. So if we got more, I mean that's perfect. Like we're at the perfect spot to be able to put more locations in and start getting money ourselves.
Why not something here?
I have thought of it. I got the idea from here, but I think I'm just gonna do a different business pursuit. I have thought about doing like a course, like selling a course like from the ground up. How you would start your doing.
Don't do that shit.
Well, I mean, I would get more money from that than the vending machine business.
No. Don't do that.
Hey, I'd buy a course from you. I'd buy a course.
Shut the fuck up.
If it's like like $2, I get the friendly red discount.
I shouldn't have a course.
But yeah, I actually want to start trying to sell fuel, but I think it's going to be
listening.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult though. I think just like permit wise and stuff. My friend
fuel
aviation gasoline because he refuels. So at the maintenance hangar that he works at, they have to refuel defuel planes a lot. So they just have
so
like
you want to become
barrels.
like a fuel broker.
Yeah, I want to sell it to people. So one guy in our maintenance
hangar, what you should do?
What?
Start fuel brokering in West Africa.
Well, I'm not gonna ship it to West Africa. It's not clean. It's not like clean straight because it's the barrels that they put are like sometimes have either a little bit of heptane or a little bit of like oil.
Yeah, but not like jet fuel. Like
it's a low lead, 100 low lead.
No, but I'm saying if you do it to West Africa, because I've been doing this thing where I've been sending medical supplies to a country called Guinea-Bissau.
Oh no shit!
And that also came from like one of the connections in aviation.
Yeah.
But I've been they have no medical supplies, right? Because there was a drought last year, and then there was a famine, and now there's no medical supplies. Complete depletion, right? So I've been working through the German embassy, which is ironic because I'm Jewish.
Yeah.
Once again.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. German embassy in Senegal, the liaison office in Guinea-Bissau. But I've been collecting. I mean, let me plug that. If you got medical done, you know what I'm saying? Literally everything we're sending over there.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
but there's a lot of resources that just aren't there right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you could make much money off of fuel because they don't really have any money. That's why we're donating.
Yeah.
Medical equipment.
Yeah.
But there's different opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good idea to kind of start looking.
Yeah.
What alternatives would be?
Yeah, and you may just want to like get a ticket and go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I've been thinking about it.
Go to like Mali and just find a corner to set up shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I know.
Like for
I feel like it'd be beneficial, like theoretically, right? Like it'd be a good idea to have as many passports as you can, because if anything happens in one area of the world, then you can go another place and you're fine.
So like for me, my family is really mixed. Cuban. Each grandparent was somewhere else. So like my Cuban grandfather, he was technically like his family is Polish, but before the 20s, pretty much before the war, a lot of Eastern European Jews and Eastern Europeans moved to Cuba because it was like a good place to be. It was nice at that time. And they set up a shoe factory. It was called, I think, like the Rabinowitz Shoe Factory. We had like a major stake in shoes in the late 1800s. So it was a different part of my family. Like my grandfather's like uncles. They came before the war. He came here after the Cossacks, which was like a Russian mob who would go kill Jews. That became a thing for a while. So him and his mom, technically, he was like born in Poland, moved to Cuba. So we consider him Cuban. So, spoke Spanish. A lot of our Jewish traditions are Cuban influenced.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is there a lot of Jewish people today living in Cuba?
There's a lot of people that are left over. Obviously a lot of the Jews were always, after the Holocaust, were always very acutely aware of what was going on around us, even slightly paranoid. So when Castro came in, or if there was anything kind of, to do with that, a little
you
shifty,
can sense it. Yeah.
left immediately. Yeah.
So now I see what you mean by leftover.
Yeah, because my family, a lot of them died in the Holocaust too because they stayed in Poland a little bit too long. You know what I'm saying? They were like, we don't need to move. In the late 1800s, there was a portion of my family. So it's like, it's far out. Like it's my mom's cousin's uncle.
Okay.
But of the same genetic trait. They came in like 1880 something, before 1900. And they ended up being one of the founders of MGM. So Meyer, Goldman, something. Yeah, one of the three names is, them. Because they got out of Poland. They came here.
Wow.
And they just set up shop business-wise, and they ended up founding, like one of the major, productions,
Wow.
But that was one of those things. It was like take a 50-50 chance. You know, like you want to go to America today and get on a boat, and it's challenging.
Yeah.
And they may even deny you because you're Jewish. You know, send you back or send you to Cuba. A lot of Jews who wanted to go immigrate through New York, they would just send them down, and then the ship would dock in Cuba, and Cuba would probably just take you. You know, you weren't allowed to go in. Yeah,
so there probably is a good amount of Jewish people.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, Venezuela as well. That's how Venezuela got a lot of Jews. Is that because America, we wouldn't let them in, and like 1930s, like as the Holocaust started.
Yeah.
So they either got denied, or the ships would want to go back, but they would go down to Cuba, to dock and refuel, and then oftentimes the Cubans officially weren't taking Jews, but they were like, you can go in, you can go into town and not get back on the boat.
Wow.
And there's a few places like that, like in Central America, not so much Central America, but South America.
Yeah.
Like I said, Venezuela has a lot of Jews, even now. Argentina,
Wow. But anyways, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
And good luck with your ventures, and I'm glad that everything seems like it's going well, and then you still got that goal in mind, and you can help.
Yeah. Every couple of seconds, there's another thought.
Yeah, I know. Well, I want to do more, but the camera.
Turned off.
Yeah.